Before the colors turned to gray, before the silence learned our names, before the fire forgot its flame, we kissed the edge of always, but never called it home. We left before we stayed, and now we walk alone. The world never saw us as broken or right, just strangers pretending they meant more than night. But love isn't loud when it's quiet and deep, and some hearts are borrowed that we never keep. I still hear you laugh in the static of trains, and some hearts are borrowed that we never keep. I still hear you laugh in the static of trains, your ghost in the glass of the morning rain. But what hurts the most isn't what we became, it's knowing we left, but the feelings we left before we stayed, before the weight began to ache, before the future found its voice, before we ran out of choice. We danced on fleeting moments, then vanished in the fade. We left before we stayed, now forever's just a phase. Maybe in some parallel time, we dared to stay, to realign, but we were stars too far to touch, and maybe that's why we meant so much. We left before we stayed, before the pieces had to break, before the blame, before the bend, before we called it a bitter end. A love untouched by damage, but not untouched by pain. We left before we stayed, and never came again. We drove past the edge of the city, where the silence starts to sing. Tangled thoughts and radio static, and your name and everything. Your eyes were full of runaways, and mine were maps that never stayed. We weren't heading somewhere real, just far from yesterday. We didn't talk about forever, just lit a match and watched it burn. Some hearts are made for anchor chains, some only live in nights and nowhere's drifts. Turn through to dim the prayers, to shadows in the ocean, running on borrowed air. You said don't promise morning, I said we never could, but in that moment's glowing, it almost felt like good. We kissed beneath a flickering sign, it spelled out someone else's truth, but neon lights felt better than the silence of our youth. You smiled like a breaking storm, I held you like a song half formed. We were pages without endings, but the story still felt warm. I knew you'd vanish with the dawn, just like all the stars we fake, but part of me still lingers on the chances we didn't take. read your words like paper planes, setting them softly on my chest. I trace the corners of your pain. In the silence we confess. We mapped out our breaking point in whispers and shallow breath. I read your eyes like warnings, but still I held what's left. We built this love with fragile hands on dreams that didn't understand that even hearts can overgrow the homes they once began. Now we're drawing blueprints for goodbye, with rulers made of reasons why, sketching tears in pencil lines, erasing time with quiet lies. You say you'll miss the way I breathe, I'll say that's all we'll ever be. Two hearts that love, then stepped aside, just blueprints for goodbye. The coffee cup still by the sink, your shadow lives inside this room, but echoes start to shrink when love runs out of bloom. We counted walls we used to climb, now we just pass through like ghosts. It's not hate, it's not a crime, it's losing what we needed most. We measured days and distant stays, built bridges out of vacant prayers. We stayed until the end began, and love forgot to care. So we're drafting blueprints for goodbye, with every pause and every sigh, marking cracks that won't repair, folding futures in mid-air. You say this hurts, but it's still kind. I'm not though, I'm not fine. Love fades without a battle cry, just blueprints for goodbye.